Welcome back to Perspective Z, your favorite generational podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Katrina.
And we have so much to talk about today, and I would like to start by saying you should all follow my dog's Instagram. It's Sky_the_pirate. Sky is SKYE, because somehow we managed to miss that last episode. Don't know how.
Yep. But, mistakes happen, and that's what we're learning how to not do. We're trying to improve upon our speaking skills, as you can tell, based on how long I'm rambling.
English is hard.
Yeah. You can tell I'm in honors English, can't you?
I dropped honors English. I was supposed to be in AP Lit, and then it was 24 hours before the first day of school, and I still hadn't done the summer homework, which was reading 2 books and annotating them. So you had to actually read them, and I could not for the force of me. I could not for the life of me do it. I could not force myself to do it. And so I went into my counselor's office and I was like, this is probably a problem, right? And she goes, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So now I'm taking Intro to Broadcasting, which will actually help improve this podcast, hopefully, because we have to learn editing stuff, so that's fun.
Yay! But anyways, my favorite thing this week, going off of your dog's Instagram intro thing,
which is Sky_the_pirate.
Sky's SKYE.
We gotta plug it as much as possible.
We did it twice this episode.
That makes up for the one week we missed.
Okay. So my favorite thing this week is puppies/puppy interviews, because puppy interviews are the cutest things, especially when they're with tough, cute guys and Tom Holland and Noah Centineo. And
my heart. Tom Holland. I mean, I can't disagree with that. You know what I've been watching a lot of lately? Is, service dog training videos. Not if you want to train your service dog, do this. But it's BuzzFeed Puppy Academy, I think is what it's called, on YouTube. And it's they go to, a farm where they raise a bunch of, service dogs. And they should, follow them through their training. And it is the cutest thing on the planet. Which very closely aligns with my favorite thing of the week, which also has to do with dogs, is the Twitter account Dogs with Jobs, and it is a bunch of service dogs, owners taking pictures of their service dogs, or other people taking pictures of their service dogs, or just pictures of dogs at work lying under the table or desk while their owner is working, and it's just the cutest thing on the planet.
And we will be leaving the link to that in the description of this episode.
Yes, we will. We will also be leaving the link to the YouTube Puppy Academy.
Best. Yeah. Yes, that. I was trying to say yes and that at the same time, and I said this.
Remember when we said we were good at English? Dogs with school is what I just wrote down. I can't multitask. Dogs with jobs.
Yes.
I think it's funny that both of our favorite things have to do with puppies this week.
Yeah,
but I mean,
we didn't plan that.
Can you blame us?
Puppies are freaking adorable, man.
They are. They're kind of a pain in the butt. I love my dog. I love Sky, at Sky_the_pirate. But, since she still is a puppy, she nips, all the time. We're working on it. She's getting better. She only nips, 3/4 as much as she used to. She starts... Oh, you know what I'm really excited for? She starts puppy school this week.
Oh my god.
I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for her to be a trained dog. I love her in her crazy puppy state. But she's so insane.
I can tell from the one episode we recorded while she was in the room, and we brought her up we edited 3/4 of the times you brought her up out of the podcast, but we still had a bunch of times
probably
in the podcast.
20 solid minutes of talking about my dog, which I'm fine with. Yep. But it wasn't so much we edited out when I brought her up. We edited out when she would just start chewing on things and I would have to go grab her, or she would just start biting and I would have to... I edited out me screaming from her biting me. Just those little minor things. She barked at one point, I think. She played with a plastic bag. Don't know how she found a plastic bag, because I don't even think there are any plastic bags in this house, but she did. She's a very creative dog.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rachel, what's your favorite song this week?
My favorite song this week? I have been listening to a lot of 5 Seconds of Summer, which is, their abbreviation is 5SOS. Here on out, I will refer to them as 5 Sauce. because I feel like most people refer to them as Five Sauce. Anyway, I've been listening to Youngblood, which is a real good song of theirs. It's a bop. It's definitely a bop. I don't think it slaps, but it's definitely a bop. And pretty much just all of their music is what I've been listening to, but that song specifically is the one I'm gonna pick because it's good. What's your song, Katrina?
I actually have 2 songs this week because I'm indecisive, newsflash, in case anybody was unaware.
You should have heard us try and come up with a name for this podcast.
Oh, it took, like, an hour at least.
I think it took, like, at least a day.
It took a day, yeah. We were Skype calling, and then...
To be fair...
Well, it wasn't...
To be fair, I think we came up with, like, a really good name, and then it was taken on Gmail when we were trying to make the account, and we were like, well, heck, guess we can't do it.
Yep. But anyways, my 2 songs this week are High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. That one has a really good message about believing in yourself even though people don't. And the other one is Breathin by Ariana Grande, and that does have a few curse words in it. But one of the YouTubers that I watch, Thomas Sanders.
I love Thomas Sanders.
That little angel man. He has the voice of an angel.
He's just like his Sunday shoutouts always make me happy because it's like 5 seconds of him singing some random little thing he made up. But it's so cute.
Yeah. And he did a cover of Breathin by Ariana Grande, and Breathin is about having social anxiety and like Breathin by Ariana Grande talks about social anxiety a lot, and Thomas Sanders talks about anxiety a lot. He has a character that's based off of the epitome of anxiety. And so, yeah, I just really loved his cover of the song. It's so cool, and I've been listening to it, like, I'm probably at least a fourth of his views.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I have not kept up with Ariana Grande's newer stuff, and I haven't listened to his cover yet, but I really, really want to. Chances are high I will do it after we record this episode, though.
You have to do it while we're on the call still, because I want to see your reaction.
Oh, like after we're done recording? Yeah, okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Say it's explicit.
Yeah, Thomas Sanders. He's amazing.
What a man. He's also gay, so he's also a Hufflepuff, and that's how I embraced my Hufflepuffishness. Yeah, the only thing I have gotten straight is that I am not.
Yeah, that's like one of his most popular quotes, and that's my favorite. Okay, so do you know what Momentum is? Like the Google Chrome thing?
No, I do not.
So, it's an extension you add to your Chrome, and then it displays the time, and it opens up to this really pretty window. There's always a really nice picture.
Have that.
Yeah.
I do have that. I forgot what it was called, but I do have that.
Okay, so my quotes are always so, like, deep and hard-hitting, and I'll send them to people, and I'm like, does it know me? Does it think we're friends? But, like, today's was...
It's the FBI agent in your computer.
It might be. Hello. I should name him.
Don't name him. He has his own name.
Oh, you're right. I named my dog's, sock monkey toy. That toy is named Larry. Also, my dog, you know how, like, when people have dogs, they give their dog a certain voice? Mm-hmm. My dog is, like, a 20-something-year-old British man. A very soft voice. I'm not going to do her voice, just because, A, she's not talking right now. She's talking on her own, if you can hear her barking. No, I'm not mad about it. But,
not bitter.
But also because, I know we do have some people from, like, the UK and Europe listening, and I think if I did the accent, they would come and, leave mean messages.
Yeah.
Because it's really bad.
Yeah. But anyways, what's your momentum quote?
Today's was, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do, which was super just like, dang, that's true.
Yeah, mine is really deep too today. It's, the walls we build around us keep sadness out, also keeps out the joy.
Another good one that I love quotes. They just, like, I'm a person that's very impacted by quotes. But yes. One that I got a few days ago, more than a few days ago, it was like September 4th, but a moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. And I was like, dang.
That's real deep, man.
Yeah, especially because, like, I know we both have experienced a lot of anxiety, and it's like, especially just being high school students, we've experienced a lot of high school anxiety. I think I read some statistic a few months ago that it was like our generation is already more diagnosed with anxiety and depression than like any other generation, which is insane because like our generation, which is Generation Z, which is why we started a podcast called Perspective Z. I don't need to plug our podcast on our own podcast. Anyway, our generation is like 16-year-olds to infants right now. I don't think are infants in our infants are in our generation. Our generation.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. But it's like it's nuts to me. But anyway, that quote is really hard hitting because it's like I think a lot of people in our generation see that you always have to work and you just have to keep working to be successful and you have to keep pushing yourself to be successful. But that quote is just like, take time for yourself and don't forget that you are a person, which I think is a really, really important message, especially for people our age.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Wholeheartedly. Wow. English.
There was also, like, I follow some family YouTubers, and one of them was holding her baby in front of a mirror, and he's, I think he's about a year old. She was holding him in front of the mirror, and just pointing and telling him how much she loved him, and then she would say, she would have him repeat that, like, oh, I love me too, just because she was like, I'm trying to instill on him this self-love now, so it's so much easier on him when he's older. And that, like, she was getting a lot of hate on that too, which I was really, really not okay with, because it was like, she's literally teaching her kid to love. And you're internet trolls sometimes just
Yeah. Self-love is, like, real hard to do.
It's
like,
so hard
it's
to
real
do.
important.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's one of those things that it's so hard to learn to do, but I feel like once you learn how important it is and how much it can impact, like, your life, it just changes everything.
I have a quote that's from The Help. If you've read The Help, a freaking amazing book. I don't think I probably have talked about it on this podcast, but it was my summer reading, and I actually really loved it. And one of the maids, takes care of one of the white woman's child, because the white woman doesn't take care of her child and is like, what a burden. And I'm like, excuse me. But, anyways, this maid always tells the girl, you was smart, you was kind, you was important. And that is, like, so, like, especially for someone who had a mother that was verbally and physically abusive.
In the book, you're not saying your mother.
In the book. No, my mother is
an amazing person.
Amazing, yes. But as the character is someone that was verbally and physically abused, it's, like, really important that she needed to love herself, especially when she didn't receive that kind of love.
I think society, I can't talk. Society is, like, starting to become more aware of the importance of, like, self-love and self-care, and I think it is game-changing. Like, it will actually change how our I can't say the word society. How our society functions once we are better able to grasp the concept of self-love, and I am so ready for it.
Yeah. Getting deep in the first however many minutes this is of the podcast. I have no idea
how long it's been. 20 minutes? Well, the call timer says 25, but then we got distracted before we started the podcast, as always.
What? Us get distracted? Never.
I don't think... Squirrel?
Squirrel?
That's a callback.
Yep. Alright. Should we do trending or should we do listening questions first? Listener questions, not listening questions. Wow.
I know how to listen. Sometimes. Not gonna commit to that. Let's do a listener question.
Okay, so Dragonlance447 on Twitter asked, how did you two become friends meet, become friends? Why did you decide to do a podcast together?
This is an amazing question.
I love this question. Thank you so much for asking this.
Yes. So first, we did not meet in person until... How long ago was it? A month? 2 months? 3 months?
3 months.
Holy cow, that was 3 months ago.
It feels like less than that.
It definitely feels like less than that. It feels like you were here like 2 weeks ago. Which is not true, because our states are very, very far apart. But we actually met online.
Yes. You joined, okay. So there's this YouTube channel called the Super Carlin Brothers, and I'm pretty sure most of our listeners so far have come from that community.
If so, hey!
So,
if not,
hey.
Also, hey!
Hey!
You can't see, but I'm doing like the finger gun circling thing. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, we apparently both watched the Super Carlin Brothers. Well, you've been watching longer than I have, but I joined the Patreon before you did.
Yes.
And their $3 Patreon level is a Discord server, which is freaking amazing, by the way.
It is so much more than worth it. I have met some of, like, my favorite people on the planet from that server. You being one of them. Actually, you're not on the list. You were my, like, 8th choice for a podcast.
How
Everyone else
dare
turned
you?
me down. I clearly was not their first choice. I'm kidding. I didn't want to do a podcast with anyone else.
That's so sweet.
But I remember when I joined, you kind of like messaged me, because at the time when I joined, there were only, I think, 3 other, like it was me, you, and 2 other people, I think, that were under the age of 18. Everyone else in that server was like in their 20s and up.
Yeah.
So you kind of messaged
that were
me.
active on the server.
Yeah.
There might have been a few that didn't talk at all, but...
Yeah. But you kind of messaged me and you're like, hey, just so you know, I'm also a teenager, la la la. Which, by the way, us meeting on this server, that is why I call Katrina Kidsy sometimes, because that is her nickname on the server. And so, like...
My nickname is McKidsey.
Yeah, McKidsey. I call her Kidsy.
Yeah.
Or Kids, with a Z.
Yeah.
It's gotta be with the Z.
Yep.
But... So we just kind of started talking, and then your family actually went out to DC, right?
Yeah, for the Super Carlin Brothers meetup.
And then we were supposed to meet. You were driving
when we were going out.
You were kind of driving my way, so you were like, "Hey, we can meet up." And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be so much fun. That'd be awesome." And then I had some family things happen, so I had to drive out to Arizona with like 5 hours notice. That was a ton of fun. I ended the trip with a niece, though, so that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool ending to a trip, even if it was a little scary at first. But unfortunately, that meant that like, us meeting then wouldn't work out. And we didn't quite know when we would be coming back from Arizona, so we didn't know, like, if we would get to meet. And so... I felt so bad, because we had, like, planned this all out. We picked the restaurant, and we were so excited to meet, and then it was like, oof. It's not gonna happen. But then, on the way back, we did manage to come back before you guys came back. I think I came back, like, the day before you guys were passing through town.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so then we met up, and we got to eat, and it was super fun. And we'll post a picture on the pod Twitter of us next to this giant corn.
Corn, yes. Because it's normal for your state.
It's completely normal.
Yeah. And it's my lock screen, and I've actually tweeted about it multiple times, because every time somebody sees my lock screen, they're like, is that a giant corn? And I'm like, yes,
Do you have
it
something
actually
against
is.
a giant corn?
Do you have something against the people of the state of Rachel?
The state of Rachel.
We're renaming your state to Rachel.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then starting a podcast. Why did we want to start a podcast?
That's a good question.
Here, I kind of want to find... So we were just, like, direct messaging on the server. Just because, like, we've become pretty good friends by this point. We'd known each other for 6 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, because we've been doing this... I've been on there about 8 months.
Yeah, you joined in January.
I did join... Holy cow, that was so long ago.
I know.
That was like 2/3 of a year.
I've almost been on there for a year, and that freaking scares me.
But I remember, like, as a joke, I was like, hey, we should start a YouTube channel. And then you were like, yeah, haha, sure. And it was, like, completely a joke.
Yeah.
And then later
hypothetical joke.
Yep. And then, oh my god, I sent it to you on my birthday. I was just like, want to start a podcast? Like, out of the blue. We had not talked about it at all. It was just like, you want to start a podcast? And you sent back the laughing, crying emoji. Like, it was, want to start a podcast? And you were like, haha. And I was like, no, actually, though. And then I said, what would we even talk about? And you said, IDK Man. That'd be fun to listen to. I mean, we have talked about starting a YouTube channel, so... And then I was like, honestly, this would be a ton of fun. And so then you asked and like, this was all completely kind of started as a joke. If I'm being quite honest. I was not expecting either of our parents to be okay with this.
Yeah, me either.
It's nuts, though.
But, yeah. And now we're like a month in,
a month
or
and
2
a half.
months
like,
in.
This is episode 6.
Dang.
Yeah, we're like...
I didn't think we'd be going this long, honestly.
Although, I must admit, there are several weeks that it's like... Already there have been weeks where it's like, I had a debate tournament one weekend, so I knew recording would be really hard. Even this weekend, like, I had to work in the middle of the day, and I normally work at night, so I didn't have time to record in the morning like normal, because I had my brother coming in from out of town, so we, like, went out to lunch with him. So I was like, even this week, I was like, if I didn't have you here to keep me accountable, I definitely would not still be doing this. Gonna be like, oh, well, can't post this week. That's a shame. Guess I just can't do it. But it's like, no, with you keeping me accountable, it's like, okay, when are we going to get this in?
It's good to be someone that can hold people accountable for things, because I need people to hold me accountable for literally everything.
Yeah, same. One thing I realized is we have posted nowhere other than just, like, we post on Mondays. We've never mentioned that we post on Mondays. So in case you were wondering what our upload schedule is, it's Mondays.
Yes.
Monday morning.
We post on Mondays.
Monday morning, if I actually edit it on Sundays. Monday evening to late night if I procrastinate.
Which is very common.
I think I've uploaded it Monday mornings twice.
Yep. Out of the 5 times we've done it now, almost 6. We'll see this time if...
Okay, this time I want to publish it early just to make a point. But also, I'm lazy, so we'll see if that'll actually happen.
Okay, speaking of procrastinating...
Yes.
My mom went to a work conference. I don't know exactly what it was, but she works at the public library.
Ooh,
and she went to... Yeah. And she went to a conference to talk about... To be honest, I don't know what they were talking about, but she was like, hey... I have a quiz that you and Rachel should take, and it's about procrastination. And I'm like, haha, very funny. And she's like, you should do it on the podcast. And I'm like, you know what? Why not?
I'm all for taking quizzes. Because, listen, I feel like they just stare into your soul and get to the real meaning behind you, like what type of pizza describes you. That's what I trust.
BuzzFeed. The BuzzFeed hole. But this is not a BuzzFeed
This is not a
quiz.
BuzzFeed.
We will be leaving this in the description, though.
Yes, we will.
Because
we
want to know how much of procrastinators you guys are, as well. I'm pretty sure we're gonna both get high procrastination levels because of who we are as people.
Yeah, so just the format of this quiz is one we have not done before.
Yeah.
It's the question and then 5 you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. From, like, not like me at all to very like me. And the 1 is not like me at all, the 5 is very like me. And 3 is neutral.
Do you want to share answers for this one, or do you not?
I think we should.
Yeah, because I noticed a YouTube comment that somebody said they were like, why don't you share your answers? And I said that it's because we rely very heavily on each other. So, like, if one of us didn't know what to say, like, I'd listen to what you would say and be like, oh, I agree with that.
Yeah,
too,
sure, that
sort
sounds
of.
good. Yep, that's me.
Yep.
But in reality, like, we're very similar, but we're also very different people.
Yeah.
Because
like,
people are different. That was a really intelligent statement
by
yours truly. And this is why you subscribe to Perspective Z, your favorite generational podcast, for insight like this.
Yep.
Alright.
Anyways.
You want to start it?
Sure. The question is, I often find myself performing tasks that I had intended to do days before.
We literally just talked about how I procrastinate publishing or editing the pod until as late as I possibly can. So I'm just gonna go ahead and circle the very like me.
That's me too, because I'm like, oh, I have time. I can do it whenever, whatever.
Also,
and then, like,
I have 2 weeks of clean laundry on my floor I need to fold.
Rachel.
I really need to fold it. I'm pretty sure my keys are somewhere in there, because I definitely lost my keys. I have a tile on them, but it's like the tile doesn't even know where they are. So at first I thought I left them at work. Like, I locked myself out of my house 2 days in a row. So at first I thought I left them at work. Checked at work. They're not there. The tile thinks I left them at home. I checked home. I have no idea where they would be. 98% sure my dog ate them. And it's not like a single key.
Yeah.
It's like I have a full lanyard with like 3 sets of keys on it and 2 keychains. One is Wonder Woman. The other is Baymax. Anyway.
Anyways, what's the second question, Rachel?
When planning a meeting, I make the necessary arrangements well in advance. What'd you...
I'm gonna say... I don't know, because I like to have things planned out, but I don't necessarily, like, do it super in advance.
Yeah, I feel like, specifically in podcasts with, like, when we're recording and trying to find a time with you, I'm either really, really good at it, like, this is when we're gonna record, cool, and then, I move everything around to make sure I can be free during that little chunk of time. Other times, like tonight, it's like, oh, I texted you at, like, 9 this morning, I was like, slight problem about recording this morning. I'm at a restaurant.
Yeah. I wasn't even awake, I woke up at, like, 10 this morning.
Oh, fair.
I usually wake up earlier because we usually record in the mornings, but this time I was able to get, like, a good 11 hours of sleep, so thank you, Rachel.
I'm so jealous. I had a nutso customer last night, and someone quit, so we were left with 3 people to close on a night that we normally have, like, 5 to 6 people, so I didn't leave my store until 6. No, not 6. 12. And then I had to be up to like, go to a meal
Rachel.
with my family. But more on that later. Anyway,
Yeah,
I said not like me, which is like a 2.
Yeah, I would probably... See, this is me doing the thing again. I'm gonna say neither like me or not.
Okay.
Because, like, sometimes it depends on how urgent the thing is. It reminds me of this TED Talk I've listened to, where it talks about the mind of a procrastinator and how there's the rational decision maker, and how there's the
Free spirit?
I know it's the crazy monkey or something.
It's definitely not the words free spirit.
No, it's the procrastination monkey, and then there's the panic monster that wakes up, and the monkey is terrified of the panic monster, and we're gonna leave that in the description because that TED Talk is a trip. I've been saying that a lot lately, like, you know that Vine where it's, when will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Yeah.
I like, found the original video for that, and it's, like, 15 minutes long.
Oh my gosh.
And, like, I listened to the whole thing. He says frickin', like, 200 times. And, like, I texted my friend about it, and I was like, that was a trip. And she's like, what? And I'm like, never mind. Anyways, let's go to the third question.
Wait, I have a question, actually, while we're talking about TED Talks. Because otherwise I'll forget it.
Yes.
Is there, like, 1 or 2 TED Talks that you can always think of when you think of, like, TED Talks? Are there, like, 1 or 2 that stick out in your mind? Because I know very distinctly the 2 that stick out in my mind. One is...
I have a few.
My favorite of all time, and it's mostly just because I love the person that gave the TED Talk. I didn't realize how much I loved her until she gave a TED Talk, but it's, Sarah Kay's TED Talk on If I Should Have a Daughter. And it is...
I don't think I've had that one.
So she starts it out with one of her poems, and I'll leave the link for this in the description. But the poem at the beginning is so beautiful, and it starts with, if I should have a daughter, instead of mom, she's going to find me point B, and then I think it goes on to say something along the lines of, so she always knows how to find her way back to me. And there are just so many. It's so beautifully written. But one of my other favorite lines is, I'm going to paint the universe on the back of the hand, so she has to, or I'm going to paint the galaxy on the back of the hand, so she has to learn the whole universe before she can say, oh, I know that like the back of my hand. And it's quirky, and it's funny, and it's amazing. And I will definitely leave the link to that, because I love it so much, and I think everyone should listen to it.
And what's your second one?
Oh, my second one, I can't remember the name of the guy, but it's the guy that, nothing along the same lines at all, but it's the guy that responds to prank emails.
Spam emails?
Yes.
That's James Beach,
yes,
and that is
James
one of
Beach.
mine.
We'll leave the link to that one, too.
James Beach is one of my favorite humans on this planet.
He's so funny. And it's like, that one's not a long TED Talk either.
Yeah, it's not. It's hilarious. I find that the ones that I tend to remember are the ones that make me laugh. So I would say the James Veach one, the Procrastination one, and then there's Apollo Robbins, who is an amazing, like, he's a thief, but he's not like a bad person, but he's a master of, like, sleight of hand.
Oh, okay.
And his TED Talk is hilarious, and we're just gonna put all of these TED Talks in the description.
Definitely. I actually have a friend who gave a TED Talk. Like, she was invited to New York to give her TED Talk as an 8th grader.
As an 8th grader?
As an 8th, because my old school did something called TED Ed Clubs, which I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's basically like you in middle school or high school or whenever write your own TED Talk and give it in your classroom, and then it gets submitted to a competition with other TED Ed clubs, and then they like pick a few to come to the TED stage in New York and give one, and she got to go give one, and this was, I think, 3 years ago now, but
oh wow,
it was, I just remember it was like so cool that not only I knew someone who like gave a TED Talk, but this 8th grader was chosen to go give a TED Talk, and that's so cool, and like that just kind of reflects her personality. I'll see if I can find that one. It's a lot harder to find for some reason, so if I can find the link to that, I'll leave it in the description.
Yeah, and then another one that I really like, but we've talked about the person that has done this, is Sabrina Cruz gave a TED Talk.
Wait, she
did?
Did?
Yeah, about becoming a YouTuber.
Oh, yeah, I've listened to this. I was like, what? No, I've definitely listened to
this. Did I miss it?
I love TED Talks so much.
Yeah, me too. Anyways, going back to the quiz that we're only on question 3 on.
It's fine, we got some good conversation in. It wasn't procrastinating, it was getting distracted, because we talk about squirrels. I generally return emails and phone calls promptly. Are we talking professionally or with our friends?
I would say both, actually.
Okay. Well, with my friends, if you text me, I will respond immediately. If you call me, I will respond at my earliest convenience. If you email me, what the heck are you doing with your life? But professionally, like, I run a sign language teaching class club thing. I don't know how to describe it. So, like, when I'm talking to my advisor for that, we respond right away, and it's, like, very direct communication. But, like, when people at my job call me and ask me to pick up their shifts, I usually wait as long as reasonably possible. Reasonably possible? Is that a phrase? I just made it up. It's a thing now. As long as reasonably possible to return their call, because I don't want to take their shift.
Yeah. So I would say that I am kind of the same way, but, like, in an opposite way. So, like, professionally, I have a school email that's set up by my school district, and then I have a personal email, and then I have the podcast email, which is what is the
perspective of Z, I think.
Perspective of Z. It's of Z.
It's of Z.
Perspectiveofz at gmail.com.
Who are we? We don't know our own podcast email. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Perspective Z was taken.
Yeah. So you can email us questions, and we will probably get back to you at some point. But, when it comes to my school email, I will respond immediately because it's my teacher's, and, like, if I'm discussing grades, I want my teachers to like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the teacher's pet, kind of. Not really. But,
your parents...
And then I have...
Your parents a teacher, it's excused.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
And then I have... Yeah. And then I have my personal email, which I, check maybe once a month. But that's where I get all my, Pinterest... Oh, this person saved your pin.
I'm like, cool.
And I'm like, I get 100 of those. I have at least 100 of those every time I check my email.
Oh, same.
And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to check my email and filter through all of this. So if you send an email to my personal email and I don't respond, I'm sorry.
You'd be better off, sending me a telegraph. Telegram? Telegram on the telegraph.
Telegram.
What's a telegraph?
Yes.
Did I use that word correctly? I feel like I'm going to get yelled at for not knowing this.
I don't even know. And then we have the podcast email, which is kind of harder to access because it won't let, the school, what's it called, firewall, won't let me access our videos because they're not educational.
RIP. We should start tagging them as educational. You're learning more about our generation.
Yeah, so I can't check comments while I'm at school, and then after school I have homework usually, but I do try and check comments as much as possible. I do respond to Twitter as much as possible because I get those notifications instantly. So
we're hooked in on Twitter. Yeah, I always think it's really funny when I check on YouTube or I see that we have a new comment, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll go respond to it, and I look at it and it's it's already responded to, and I'm like, huh. Oh yeah, I share this account. But it's just I feel like I do that on Twitter too. When I see perspectiveofz responded to blah blah blah, just when I'm scrolling through my personal feed, and I'm like, I don't talk like that. That's not me.
It's me.
Oh yeah, that's the other person that does
Rachel just has split personality disorder and just goes on her pod Twitter when she's having mental breakdowns.
I go on Twitter when I'm having a mental breakdown, not specifically our pod Twitter.
Yep.
Anyway, back to this quiz we started taking 20 minutes ago. Squirrel?
Anyways, yeah, question 4. I find that jobs often don't get done for days, even though they are required, even when they require little else except sitting down and doing them. Wow, words. I can't read, apparently.
Me either.
This is why I don't read in class. The teacher's like, who wants to read a passage? And I'm like, unless you want a bunch of ums and likes in that paragraph, I don't think so.
See, I'm a debater, so we sometimes have to do this drill where we read a card or we make a response, and anytime we insert a filler word, so we start over.
Oh my god.
So you could be saying something and it's once I have the information then you go, once I have the information I need, and you have to keep doing it until you can go through the entire thing without or because the debate format means you don't have a lot of time for errors like that.
Yeah, see, this is why you're the debater in the friendship and I am not. Because I say and a lot.
What did you pick for number 4?
I said very like me.
I said like me, which is a 4 on the scale. You picked a 5.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to start over that sentence. Oh wait, no, I can use the word because I'm saying I like something. No? Okay, if it is a quick job and I have a lot of really quick and easy jobs, I will do them all really quickly because then it's ooh, I got so much done today, when in reality no, I folded 3 shirts, but I counted each shirt as a separate task. But if it is anything that actually requires doing, I procrastinate a fair amount.
Yeah. Okay, we should probably spend less time answering these questions because we're already
holy crap.
Yeah, that much time.
Well.
And we still have a bunch of viewer questions to get through, and you had a few work stories.
Oh yes, I have some great work stories. We can always get to those another time though. Alright, next question is, once I have the information I need, I usually make decisions as soon as possible.
Nope.
Not even a little. I said not like me.
I said not like me at all. I am very indecisive. My friends have to decide which lunch table we sit at because I don't want to choose.
Here's the thing. It says once I have all the information I need, I never have all the information I need. Because even if you give me every single morsel of information on the planet, I'm like, oh, I'm missing something. I can't make my decision yet.
Exactly.
There's just so much room for error.
Yep. Okay, question 6. When I have something difficult to do, I tell myself that it's better to wait to do it until I'm feeling more inspired.
Yup, that is 100% very like me.
Exactly, me too.
I usually have to rush to complete tasks on time. Very like me.
Yep.
See the beginning of this conversation when we started talking about my English homework?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next question? I usually accomplish all the things I plan to do in a day. Nope.
I'm saying not like me, because, like, if I really want to be productive that day, I can get through everything. But if it's a normal day, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
I usually start a task I'm given shortly after giving it.
Nope.
That's a good joke.
Like, I have a few friends that, like, they get their math homework and they're like, okay, I'll do it, so I don't have to do it. Because I have a block schedule, so we have math on... I have math on even days, and I usually don't do it until the night before another even day. So, yeah. That's not like me at all.
When deadlines are approaching, I often waste time by doing other things.
Very like me.
I'm very good at productive procrastination. Final season, my room is spotless. My brain, also spotless because there's no information in it because I've been studying, or I've been cleaning instead of studying. But my room, spotless.
Yeah. That's us with writing a certain story that we still need to write.
I was thinking about that today, actually. We should...
Yeah, me too.
We should get on that. Anyway, next question.
Yeah. I often have a task finished sooner than necessary.
That's really funny.
That's a joke.
When preparing for a meeting, I am seldom caught having to do something at the last minute. First of all, okay, can we assume, like, class is a meeting for the purpose of this quiz? Like, class is a meeting, and the thing we have to do is homework. Yeah, not at all like me. I am often known to...
I'm gonna say not like me because sometimes I have things prepared.
There are, like, 2 class periods in the day that, like, if I get all my work done, then the rest of the class period is mine, and normally the work doesn't take that long. So I have been known to rush through assignments in that class so I can do the assignment for the classes after it that I didn't do the night before.
Me. Okay, question 13. I often delay starting tasks that I have to do. Very like me.
Very, very like me. That's Vivi like me. Hey, that rhymes.
Vivi.
Vivi.
Vivi like me.
Vivi likes me? When faced with a huge task, I figure out what the first step is so I can get going. No. I have been told by a professional that, like, I am so bad about seeing the little, or, like, the immediate picture. I am a person that I see the big picture, and then I can't see the steps to get there. So, like, that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from, personally, is, like, inability to focus on the present. But, like, it was funny because I was talking to someone, they were like, that is the opposite of most high schoolers. Like, most high schoolers can only see the day-to-day and don't see how that would affect their lives. All you see is how it is going to affect your life, and that stresses you out too much. I'm like, you're not wrong. Anyway, final question.
Final question is, I frequently say, I'll do it tomorrow. Very like me.
Very like me. Calculate my total. It's loading for a while. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh. Never mind. I thought a low score was a good thing. A low score? A low score is not a good thing.
Okay, what was your number that you got?
I got a 24.
Me too!
We got exactly the same.
So we got the exact same thing.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to read the description?
Do you want...
You can read the description.
Yeah, sure. You're a procrastinator, and it's not something to be proud of. It means you miss deadlines and waste a lot of time. As a result, your boss is not getting from you what you are capable of delivering, and he or she is probably very frustrated with this. Follow the link below to find out why you're doing this and how you can stop it.
Oof.
I feel personally attacked.
I feel so attacked. But it's very true.
Yeah, very true.
Alright, so, my Fitbit just buzzed because it is 9:59 my time, which means, it wants me to go to bed, but that's not gonna happen because it's a weekend, so I'm gonna stay up as late as I want. Anyway, I would like to know, what is your step count?
Alright, so now I don't have an excuse for having a low step count because it's, like, the end of the day, but I have 306 steps.
Okay. When I say my step count, you have to remember I worked an 8-hour shift today, which means I didn't sit down for 8 hours. I'm at 13,515.
Yep. This is why I need a job. Anyone willing to hire me, please hit me up through either our Twitter or email.
Hit us up through Twitter.
Anyone that has a professional opinion of how my work environment could just hit me up through Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. We're all for that.
Yeah. I noticed that our podcast email got an email for, I don't remember what it was, but I messaged you about it. I think it was, like, a dating website.
No, it was a data website, wasn't it? But it was like, did you know
no,
you can get...
it was...
Oh, are you talking about the other email?
Yeah, the other email.
I was like, I thought you were talking about
the data email.
The data...
Like... Yeah, it was like, did you know that you have data on Podbean about your podcast? And I'm like, what?
And if you know anything,
I had no idea.
And if you know anything about us, you know that we check that pretty religiously, because I think statistics are cool.
Yep. But our podcast got something for a dating website, and I was like, wow, they know we're both alone.
That just hurts.
Oh well, that's what happens around homecoming.
True. My homecoming is in 2 weeks. I'm still trying to figure out.
And are you going to it?
I don't know. I might. I'm still deciding. I need to figure out a dress situation. If I figure out the dress situation, then yes. If I don't, I'm buying new sweatpants and going to the movies. Which
either way sounds really fun.
Exactly.
So,
like going to the movies with a bunch of my best friends, and that just sounds awesome. we have another question. We have a few questions today, and sorry, we're saving all of these till the end. We had so much to talk about, which like, it's bonkers. It's really cool though, because it's like we're developing in our podcasting and having full conversations, and that's fun. Anyway,
yay.
Your mother at Melmic MELMC 222 said, if you could make any BuzzFeed quiz, what would it be? And will you make it? Let me just say, no, we will not make it, because, well, unless you know how to make a quiz, but yeah, no, I don't know how to make quizzes.
No, I do not.
Also, I don't think I'm qualified to look into people's souls like that.
Me too. Like,
if I could make any BuzzFeed quiz, it would be, what dog represents you or something?
Yeah. I have no clue.
Yeah, it's like, that's a really, really good question.
It's a really deep question, but, like, I feel like I'd be, like, personally attacking people by creating a quiz.
Yeah, I know I feel personally attacked. I know you felt personally attacked when we took the pizza quiz and they told you were a Slytherin.
No, it was a ice cream sundae quiz, actually.
Right.
And, I was not offended that I was a Slytherin, I was offended that I was not a Hufflepuff.
Oh, right, sorry.
So, shut up, Rachel. I love you, but, like...
You better. Alright, I'm looking for a new podcast host. If anybody would like to co-host this podcast with me, go ahead and send us a tweet at perspectives_z_ on Twitter, or DM my dog at Sky_the_pirate. Sky is spelled SKYE.
You are too much.
You're not wrong. I'm also tired, so I'm a little on the crazy side.
Really? I couldn't tell. Alright, another viewer question. We have another question from Dragonlance447 and said, what are your other fandoms, and have we read the How to Train Your Dragon books?
Oh,
and
that's what
no,
that
I have not read the How
stands for.
Yeah, I have not read the How to Train Your Dragon books.
I did not know there were books.
Me either. Like, I saw the first movie, and then I knew they've been getting sequels and stuff, but, like, I don't have time, because I'm a high schooler, and, like, stress. And, I have a question for Dragonlance 447. What are these other fandoms you're talking about? Because, like...
No, there are
I'm
definitely
kidding.
some other ones that I am a part of.
I know when I was little and, like, was an avid reader, I considered myself a part of many fandoms, but, like, I don't know if I'm still considered part of that fandom anymore,
I think
like,
once you're a part of a fandom, you're always a part of a fandom, as long as you still, like, enjoy the books. It's not like you're, like, an avid Harry Potter fan, and then all of a sudden you read, well, I don't know, some random thing JK tweeted, and then you're like, just kidding, I hate Harry Potter, but I'm still a part of the fandom. Like, no. If you say you hate Harry Potter, you are no longer a part of the fandom, but if you're just like, I haven't had time to read it as much, but I still like it, I would consider you a part of the fandom. You're still part of the fam. Famdom. See what I did there? F-A-M. Famdom.
Because we're a family.
Aww. Right. We're the Perspective Z family. We're the Zers. Let's go in for a group hug, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Everyone hug. Everybody hug
Everyone awkwardly hug your computer,
your
laptop,
computer, or whatever you're listening to this on. Just give it a big ol' hug. We both hugged our computers. It's fine.
Yep. But anyway, Rachel, what are your other fandoms?
My other fandoms, so obviously Harry Potter, because duh. I also really like I liked the Divergent series. I did not like the movies, but I really, really enjoyed the books. And the other book series that I loved was the Hunger Games series. My mom and I went and saw, like, all the movies in theater together, even though there were only 4, but it was, like, it was cool. It was our thing. And then the other one that there are 2 more. What am I doing? There are 2 more that are good. Like, you get me talking about fandoms, and they just keep coming. But the Testing series by Joelle something starts with a C. I don't know. I'll link it or leave the name below. It's really, really cool. It's kind of like a combination of Divergent and Hunger Games, which I think is why it appealed to me, because I was already a part of both of those fandoms. It was one of those things where, like, I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought a Hunger Games book and I bought a Divergent book, and you know how at the bottom of Barnes & Noble's receipts they say, well, you think you would also enjoy, and that was one of them.
I love that.
Me too. It's genius. But that was one of them, so I picked it up and I loved it. There are 3 books in the series: Testing, something, and Graduation. There's a one in the middle there. I don't know what it is.
You're obviously a dedicated fan.
I haven't read them in a while. And then the other fan I'm a part of, which I think is the last one. No, there are definitely more, but, like, books. Let's stick to book fandoms, because I could go on for hours about other fandoms. But the final book fandom would be the Selection series.
I definitely agree with a lot of those, except for the Testing one.
You need to read it. It's so good. I think you would actually enjoy it. Like, it's such a good book.
Okay, I will put it on my to-read list after actually reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, yes.
Because I want to read the book.
Yes. Still don't think you should address letters you want to keep secret, but that's
a story
for another day. What are some other fandoms you're a part of?
Okay, so I am in the... I wouldn't consider myself, like, a part of the Divergent fandom, because I didn't get super into it. I don't think I finished the series. I read, I think, the first 2, but then I heard that the 3rd one was really bad, so I didn't read it.
It wasn't the best.
Yeah, but I also was in Harry Potter,
in case
of course, you couldn't tell. And then I'm just reading books off of my bookshelf.
That's what I was saying. I was literally picturing my bookshelf, because I'm in a different room right now than I normally am. I'm not sitting in the closet.
Yeah, I was definitely a part of the Hunger Games when I was younger. I haven't read those books in frickin' forever, man. I have Pop Tropica, the official guide.
That does not count as a fandom. That is a video game.
It's a quality video game.
Honestly, I think counting it as a video game is a bit of a stretch. It's a meme is what it is.
Game.
It's a meme.
It's a good game.
You know what else is a meme? Club Penguin. Isn't it now like Penguin Island or something though? Something dumb.
Yeah. Okay, so I have properly scanned my bookshelf, and I would say Harry Potter, Hunger Games, the Percy Jackson series, the Lunar Chronicles.
I could never get into those books.
By, what's her name? Marissa Meyer. And then the Land of Stories books by Chris Colfer.
See, I was told I should read those books, and I just never could. Did you ever read the books Fablehaven, though?
I loved them,
books. So I didn't even remember that I loved them until you said the Land of Stories, because the covers always remind me of each other.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with those books. We started reading the first one in my 5th grade class, And my teacher was like, okay, does anyone want to read the second one too? Because, you know, like, at the end of elementary school days, they, like, I think they did it up through 7th grade for me. We would just, like, read a book if we had extra time. And I was like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh my gosh, I fell in love with them. And everyone's like, no, we don't really want to read the next ones. Except for, like, me and my best friend of, like, few years at the time. We were like, yes! So she just gave us the book, and we sat in, like, the corner reading nook with, like, the metal bookshelves. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the school metal bookshelves.
Yes.
Sat next to those, like, in the little bean bags and, like, poured through those books. They were so good.
I loved them.
I used to be such a...
Land of Stories, I actually have one of them signed by Chris Colfer because I actually stood next to him on stage at one of his book meetings.
That is so cool. I don't really... I have quite a few books signed by their authors that are, like, award-winning books, because my old school used to do something, a literature festival, where they would, fly in or drive in or whatever, or book a bunch of authors to come for the 4th through 6th graders. So you would go and you would meet with 3 authors, and you would buy their books and you would talk to them and you would, like, hang out with them for, like, an hour. And you did this for, I think, 3 years. So by the end, you got to meet 9 authors. You could also, like, pay $20 to go to a dinner with all of them and then sit with whoever you wanted. So I have so many signed books. I actually have a book signed, I can't remember the author off the top of my head, or I can look it up real quick, but it's a book called Hurt, Go Happy, which is about a monkey that is learning sign language. Jenny Rorby is the name of that author. That's awesome. That's so awesome that you have that signed. I love... Yeah. Oh, I'm such a nerd. I love talking about this. Can you hear how excited I am about this?
Yeah.
But
it was really funny because I went with one of my best friends to the book signing thing, and we, like, dressed up in costumes as a few of the characters, and he was like, okay, we're gonna do a costume contest because I noticed a lot of you are dressed up. If a bunch of you could come down to the stage, and then they had a whole, like, front row, and he was like, I think this front row is getting too big, and, like, a few of you, like, come to the back and stand, like, right next to him. My friend was like, book it.
Nice.
Just so we could stand next to him. Smooth. But, like...
You're like, we can! Falling over chairs. Why do I imagine that is definitely what happened?
Because it was.
But anyway, in Hurt, Go Happy, this girl is deaf, and her parents, like, never allowed her to learn sign language for some reason, and that's, like, explained further in the book. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. But she meets a monkey in the woods, owned by this weird old dude who got mad because she was trying to go mushroom hunting on his land. The monkey knows sign language, so she learned sign language from the monkey.
That's a very unique story idea that I don't think I've ever heard anything like before. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Alright, we have one last listener question. That was a really good question. Dragonlance447, I like your questions.
I like you, Dragonlance.
Giving them.
We're gonna go over to Twitter right now, and we're gonna follow you, Dragonlance. Which you know by now, because you probably get Twitter notifications. But if you're wondering why, here it is.
But anyways, our last listener question is from PepperMay22, and she said, "What's your favorite bridge?"
Well, how many bridges do you know, Pepper?
I'm slightly concerned, Pepper.
Yeah.
How many? I'm gonna Google bridges right now.
Search best bridges.
Oh, me too.
I think my favorite bridge will be... Dude, I don't know. I really... Pepper, why do you know so many? Oh, I know exactly what mine is. I know exactly what mine is, actually.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it. It's in Duluth, Minnesota, and it's the drawbridge that, like, moves up and down for the big ships to go through.
Oh, yes. That one. I don't know what it's called either.
I'm looking it up right now. The aerial lift
I'll
bridge
say what
is
mine
what
is.
It's called.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have mine, and I have a story from it. well, not really a story, it's just something I really like that uses. So my favorite is the Tower Bridge, which is in London. And, first of all, I love London, and I would love to go there someday. But, one of the reasons why it's my favorite is because one of my favorite movies, Now You See Me Too, is, like, it takes place, like, part of it takes place in London. In the final moments, like, the Tower Bridge is used for this amazing magic trick. And I love, okay, Now You See Me and Now You See Me Too are very underrated movies, and I believe everyone should go watch them, because they're amazing.
I'll get right on that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm surprised that I have a favorite bridge.
Me too. The things you learn when you talk to Pepper.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I've been to the bridge a lot, the Duluth aerial lift bridge, because my grandparents have a home a few hours north of Duluth, like an hour north of Duluth, so we go there a lot, and it's always gorgeous. Like, no matter what time of year you go, sometimes you're freezing, but it's always just gorgeous. Minnesota's real pretty.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should talk about what's trending on the internet.
We are over an hour into this podcast. It's probably less than an hour by the time I edit stuff out. But over an hour into this podcast, and we have not talked about
the trending
things. Well, I think the first thing to talk about, which obviously this will change just because it's something happening now, is Hurricane Florence. Mm-hmm. Although, from what I'm seeing on Twitter right now, it has been downgraded to a tropical storm.
Oh,
which is very good.
Yeah.
It says, despite being downgraded to a tropical storm, Florence continues to cause catastrophic flooding over North and South Carolina, which is obviously very, very not good. And if you are anywhere near the hurricane or you're affected by it, my heart goes out to you, and I hope you're staying safe.
Yep, me too.
And
stay safe. Don't die.
Stay safe, don't die. If you can't see the road because it's underwater, it's not a good idea to drive in it.
Yes.
Fun fact. But yeah, no, just make sure that if you're in the path, like, you are staying as safe as you can, although at this point it's Monday, so I'm assuming, how long do hurricanes last? Mm-hmm. But I think most of it is supposed to be gone by Monday, other than, like, obviously the flooding will remain for a while, but just... yeah, it's kind of crazy that we have, like, this major flooding and tropical storm and rain happening on one side of the country, and then you've got California. Have you seen the Studio C weather forecast video? I'll link it. It's so funny.
I think I have, but it's been a while.
It's just this forecaster who's like, oh, it looks like we've got a tropical storm developing. That's a little unfortunate. And then, like, every time he goes back to the map, it's like, oh, we have 17 hurricanes ravaging the country. Oh, that's 12 tornadoes. Oh, and flooding. Oh, wait, the water's on fire? And I was like, that kind of feels like the country right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. Something that I saw that was trending on YouTube when I checked recently was Good Mythical Morning. That is Rhett and Link that do a daily morning show on weekdays. And they also have a podcast called Ear Biscuits. But they did a restaurant bread taste test, and let me tell you, that is career goals. To get paid to test restaurant bread.
You know they did an episode where they tested oxygen, right? Flavored oxygen.
I know.
I watched that one today. That's why it's fresh in my brain. But, like, they're hilarious. I love them.
Yeah.
I will link the restaurant bread taste test. They're just like, did you see that, like, something in the New York Times crossword or something was like blank and link? And Rhett was like, this is how you know you've made it. Because there are definitely other Rhetts they, like, could have used. So that's just super cool.
Yeah.
We have so many, like, videos that we're sharing in this description.
Yeah. Our description's gonna be a lot longer than it usually is, but, you know.
It'll be fine.
This episode's already pretty long anyways.
It is getting pretty long. I'm, like, kind of shocked.
This has been another episode of Perspective Z. That's been Rachel.
And that's been Katrina. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.